Skyrim is one of the most important RPG games of the recent years, and the mod scene has something to do with that. Where else can we find entire single-player campaigns being made on that scale? We took a look at the most cherished mods with new locations and stories like Falsecar, Moonpath to Elsewhere, or Enduro. While you wait for the next Elder Scrolls game, here are the best mods with new stories to keep you busy, both old and new, each offering around a dozen of hours and a lot of quests. According to the Skyrim community, Falsecar is probably the best and the most polished story mod with a new location. It's something of an instant classic, to be honest, and to our surprise, it was supposedly made by a 19-year-old modder. Let's check if the stories are true, shall we? To start the adventure, we have to go find a character by the name of Hjalmar in Riften. From there, we go underground to find a certain mechanical monster and activate a portal. Once we use it, we enter a land that could easily be mistaken for a Skyrim add-on. We quickly get involved in politics and the larger plot, as always regarding money and power. In that aspect, Falsecar is really interesting, because there's much content to be found here, a few plot twists, and a lot of pre-recorded dialogues. A lot of effort has been put into the main story, which consists of around a dozen of missions. Apart from that, we can engage in some smaller quests, among which there is one regarding a group of necromants, which carries out experiments on mad grabs. In other words, there certainly is a lot to do here. All of which can be found in the land of Falsecar, sadly comes at a price. It can sometimes feel empty and quiet. A problem like that is to be expected when we're on a lower budget, because we're talking about a free mod here, aren't we? Let's give the authors a pass on this one, especially as they've made one of the most complete mods for Skyrim. It's definitely worth checking out if you have the time. As you're watching the video, you're probably realizing which race from Skyrim is my favorite, and since Morrowind, that has been the Khajiit race, often associated with the underworld and openly persecuted by the elves and humans.
It is so, stranger. Khajiit will step on the warm sands of our homeland soon.
And that's precisely why Moonpath to Elsewhere caught my attention. It lets us venture to the homeland of the furry peoples. The mod starts in Falkreath's Inn, where we can meet a pair of the said Khajiit and join them on a quest. Traveling to our destination, we'll encounter a few roadblocks, which I assume are to convey a sense of dangerous journey. When we finally arrive, we'll be in the heart of the Khajiit society, and we'll start our quest to earn their trust, which, as you probably may have known, isn't that easy, as they're not so trustful. The main plot here might not be perfect, but it lets us learn a bit more about the mysterious humanoid cats, and lets us face a few new enemy types. The mod also includes a few surprises along the way, and a flying ship. The mod would have been amazing if the creators had a chance to spread their wings. Not many people remember that Moonpath to Elsewhere was in development long before Bethesda released the modding tools. The people behind Moonpath were using other programs. This is why the mod is technically a bit mediocre, and technically everything takes place underground, which makes the areas a bit claustrophobic and dark. On the other side, one has to praise the Khajiit jungles, which look really good. Worm's Tooth is the most beloved mod in Skyrim's history, and one of the biggest and most complete add-ons to ever grace the game. However, some say the mod is pretty much overrated, and the story and the setting are overall not worth it. Is any of that true? To start our adventure in Worm's Tooth, we need to have an advanced character, meaning we need to reach a certain level cap and a certain moment in the main story. When those are achieved, we'll be approached by a Theoden Bien, who invites us on a new adventure. The story takes us to Whiterun, where in the Bannered Mare Inn, we need to seek Lucius Lior. After a small chat, we'll join his party on a dragon hunt, which will eventually lead us to a new island. The main story here consists of rather long quests and a few side missions, one of which involves buying an abandoned imperial fort. The maker of the mod also included some pretty interesting dungeons and a chance to have an animal companion. Oh, and don't forget facing many dragons along the way. The mod is certainly not an easy one. Why do some people say that this mod is overrated? Well, probably because none of the elements of the mod truly stand out. Sure, the quality of the mod is top-notch, but the theme and the story feel uninspired and lack any memorable characters. One of the issues of Worm's Tooth is that a few months back, its creators simply vanished and deleted the mod from the official channels. Luckily, there are still some places where you can find it. if you try hard enough. Let's save the most recent mod for last. Enduro, by a German team, Sure AI, known for the Neherim mod. This expansive modification is now only available in German, but it's supposed to get an English release soon. Let's see what is in store from the talented team, as it seems that their mod will blow a few minds. Enduro looks good even before we finish installing it. The mod has its own programs, automatically downloading updates. The mod itself is around 9 GB, which is more than the basic version of Skyrim. Once we start up, we're treated to a few unique cutscenes which sadly I don't understand, but they look really good nevertheless.
Weil die Toten nicht vergessen, hörst du?
The mod changes basically everything from the interface, character creation, quest completion to dialogues themselves, not to mention the graphics side, simply overflowing with various effects. We still need to wait a while before the English version, but as of now it looks like Enduro already might have surpassed other Skyrim mods and might be the opus magnum of sorts of the modding scene. It's a piece of great work which could easily pass for another game. Personally, I would even pay for such a mod. Well, but that's another topic. While those were the mods that left the biggest impression on me, one also has to mention other good mods like Beyond Reach, which is set in a remote dark land, The Grey Call of the Nocturnal, a mod that centers on thieves, and Dark End, a mod in the style of Dark Souls. In the end, I would like to point out that each and every one of those has some solid voice acting, so you can easily enjoy it just as you would the original game. This just goes to show you the greatness of Skyrim and how enthusiastic its mod scene really is. We sincerely recommend you try one of those mods. Thanks and stay tuned for more from GamePressure.com.